Watch Who?
Hello,
and welcome to Watch Who, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Mark.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm a Doctor Who fan.
And I'm new to watching Who.
Watching for the very first time.
Very first time.
We are actually backstage at the Doscars in our dressing room.
We've each got a Terry Nation.
And we're sitting here in front of our mirrors with all the lights round.
Yeah.
Before we go out, everyone, let's have a pre-show chat. Because I feel like I owe it to everybody to tell you about when I went to the Neighbours celebration tour and had the meet and greet. I cannot not talk about it.
No, I think we're just as much known for Doctor Who as Neighbours at this point. So, yeah.
So finally that day came. So there was the meet and greet first, and there was only one slight disappointment in that going in, Susan Kennedy, Jackie Woodburn, was indisposed. So she wasn't actually at the meet and greet. But I did get to meet everybody else.
So who was Susan?
Susan Kennedy.
Okay.
You don't know who any of them are, do you? Anyway.
Who anyone is.
It was amazing. It was really, really well organised. As you queued up, you got told what was going on. They took your phone to take pictures on. And I wore a T-shirt with Toadie on and the two Ds, obviously in honour of the best storyline of all time, the D storyline that brought me back watching Neighbours. So it was Toadie, the guy who plays Toadie, that came up to meet me first and sort of walked me over to the others. And he sort of gave me a look as like, when he saw his face on my T-shirt, it was like, okay, this is a crazy fan. But no, he was really, really lovely. They were all so nice. And he signed my T-shirt as well. And I got like a signed poster and got so many photos with them. And I was just talking to them about that amazing storyline. Oh, and I told them about me going into work and telling everyone about the storylines and everything. And they were like, oh, did you get anybody to watch? And I was like, yeah, a few people.
You did. That's how we started every Monday morning meeting. Oh, I'm glad you loved it. I'm glad you had a good time.
Anyway, from one amazing show to another, we should get on to the Doscars.
Yeah, we should.
Are we ready? Let's head out.
Yeah, get your ball gown on, Mark, and we'll get out there.
And here we are for the season 17 Doscars.
Hey!
Welcome, everybody. Here we are. We're lighting up the Eiffel Tower tonight. We're all here. We're all gathered. We've got a stage. We've got all the seats out in the open air tonight.
Was that our first open air one?
No, I think we did one at the Seeds of Doom house outside.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone can land their spaceship quite easily if it's out in the open. We've got the Mervellans over there with their Disco 6. We've got Scaroth, obviously. We've got Seth and Tika. They've come all this way. They're still getting on.
Well, still arguing away. Seth's still trying to prove himself.
We've got Skagra and his band of zombie prisoners from Sharda. We've got obviously Daleks and Davros here. Give us a wave.
How do the Daleks wave? With
their plungers.
Okay. I like that your example of them waving was you waving at me, by the way. For listeners at home, Mark waved at me.
We've got somebody running our bar. Charlie the barman is back, also known as Professor Kerensky.
Ah, yes.
It's Charlie, the professor of the bar tonight.
Professor of the bar.
So I think we are all here. Oh, there's some mandrills and wolfweeds making their way. I think there are some passengers in their full suits there's been a bit of delay. They'll be coming later. They are still boarding, so hopefully they will make it in time. Should we start with our first category?
Yeah.
And we start with Best Villain.
You read them out and I'll say who's won.
Great. And we've got a chair each on the stage here, everyone. We're not going anywhere. Unless you want to run around Paris, you're quite welcome.
I'm good. I just want to stay here. I'm taking the sights. Paris can come to us.
The nominees for Best Villain are Lady Adastra, the creature from the pit.
We call it the pit.
Scaroth, City of Death. Trist, Nightmare of Eden.
Are you claiming superior knowledge?
And Skagra, Sharda.
Doctor, you will give to me everything that you have in your mind. Your mind shall be mine.
Shada.
Sharda. I mean, we talked about Davros, but he wasn't the best Davros.
No.
That's why he wasn't there. Out of the drugs one, we had Trist and Diamond, but Trist was the more sort of sneaky one, so that's why he made it.
Well, I had Diamond, you had Trist, if you remember, but I was
Yeah.
happy to go with Trist.
Because I don't think Diamond was an out-and-out villain. Lady Adastra, absolutely brilliant. She had to be there. Very, very memorable. Do you remember her?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. In the pit.
Just checking.
In the pit, and then she's really dramatic.
You gave me a look
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you weren't sure. I mean, we talked about the Mavellans. They weren't particularly villainy, though. Soldeed from the Horns of Nimon didn't actually make it. I think people might be shocked at that. For me, he was way over the top. And I think the ones that we've got, like Skagra from Sharda, he was just played better, I think.
Oh, way more intimidating and menacing, yeah, for sure. And the winner of Best Villain is Skagra.
Yes.
I mean, Skagra was brilliant. Really menacing, really intimidating, both in cartoon and real form.
And he had that scar, and he walked around Cambridge in a ridiculous outfit, but he was still
spread
menacing.
down the lens of the camera.
Yeah, he really was. And okay, maybe people are like, oh, it shouldn't count because it wasn't in the actual series, but no, he outshone everybody else.
Well, it's interesting. I was thinking about this argument. Now, on BritBox, it is part of the series.
There we go. Well, you got to go what
there is
BritBox
a whole
says.
other part of BritBox that has other, and it's not in there. It is considered part of that series. And BritBox is BBC as well, isn't it? So if they consider it, I guess we should too.
There we go. You've heard it here. It's official.
It's official. Like, when I was looking for it, I even went to other initially thinking it would be there, and it wasn't. It was part of the season.
And here he is. He's getting his award now. He's coming up in his amazing silver cape and his own red carpet
course.
from his spaceship.
Yeah, it's always in front of him,
Like-
actually, now. He just has it as a permanent fixture. It's
Yeah.
always in front.
Yeah, there he is. He's taking it away in his invisible spaceship. There he
There we
goes.
go.
Off he goes. Disappeared.
And he's gone.
Very well deserved. Okay, next up, Best Monster. Now, we've got 3 nominees for this one. And they are Scaroth, the Jaggeroth, from City of Death. Erato, from Creature from the Pit. And the Nimon, from the Horns of Nimon.
You shall die.
Yeah, monsters, there wasn't that many. I mean, Daleks. We didn't go for Daleks again just because.
I think I had them down. Again, it was one I had down, but we agreed that they weren't really of a menacing threat. They were just more there for the story.
And Mandrels, the drugs one, we didn't have them in the end. Although they were okay, they just weren't. I don't know.
No. Like, we just decided we'd rather have 3 ones we remembered. Well, I remembered usually. 3 good ones than just adding a 4th for the sake of a 4th.
So we had Erato, the big green blob, the controversial big green blob. And, okay, some people might say that's the worst thing about the season. But, I don't know, we really liked Erato in the end. I want Erato as my friend.
It's a really strong character. All right, it had weird parts. But actually, in terms of, like, monster and character, it was strong.
And he's here tonight, sucking up all the stuff over there.
Weird bits and all.
Yeah, he's there, everybody. Give us a wave with your thing. There you go. And Scaroth as well. Okay, we had him in villain as sort of the human form, but we're talking about sort of like the alien, the one-eyed spaghetti man version, which is a really clever concept. I just like that image of the spaghetti man, but he's in a suit still at the end of the story.
It's a really good reveal. It's one that we remembered. It worked really well.
Yeah, and if he wins tonight, maybe he can tell us what's under his suit. We can finally get that answer. Or maybe not.
Maybe the mystery's better.
Yeah. Keep your clothes on, Scaroff. Right.
Come on, keep them on.
And then the Nimon as well. Now, I think this was more you than me. There wasn't... They're okay.
It was just a very memorable monster. As in, it's nothing, it's similar to something we've had before, I know, and I said that at the time. But in terms of, it was the dominant feature of the story, in the same way that Erato was the dominant feature of that story, and it worked. Rather than sometimes, I'm trying to think, you said them before and their name's gone, the little bugs, the wolfweeds. I love the wolfweeds, but I don't think they should be in as a monster because they were there. Do you know what I mean? They just existed. I feel we've chosen 3 here that really were the essence of a story and really part of it. And Nimon was, for that reason, is also here.
Well, please let us know who's won.
Very well. And the winner of Best Monster is Erato.
Yay! Here he comes. Blobbing. Watch out. Sarah's about to hand Erato his trophy. Whoa! Watch out. Watch out.
Can't say anything, we have to touch. They'll talk through us, remember.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, if I touch Erato...
Okay, so what do they have to say,
see what happens. Thank you for my Doscar. I appreciate the award.
They talk like you, though, don't they?
And wish everybody the best. Yeah, well, that's my voice.
Okay.
I don't know. That's how we talk. That's how we talk using my voice. There we are. Oh well, he's off now.
I'll have a go. Just one sec.
Okay, you have a go. Go and touch him.
I'm just going to touch now. Yeah, I agree. I don't know what Mark was talking about. That was just really odd. Okay, there we are.
Oh my god, that's the history of the Doscars. Erato is the first winner to make a speech out of 17 seasons. Nobody has ever spoken on this stage. We have tried.
It's taken us to literally force ourselves onto them. There we are. Okay. Right, there we go. Right, it's off the stage now. Supporting character. And the nominees are... Duggan, City of Death. Seth, The Horns of Nimon. Chris, Sharda.
Professor Chronotis, I don't know if you remember me. We met at a faculty party a few weeks ago. It's Chris Parsons.
And Professor Chronotis, Sharda.
There's no one interested in ancient history on Gallifrey any longer, and I thought that certain things would be safer with me.
Now, loads of good ones. There's always good ones, but I think this season is even better.
Yeah. This was a really strong season. This was difficult.
Yeah. We did talk about... You wanted Della, actually, from Nightmare of Eden.
I liked Della. I like Della.
I just didn't think she did... Well, she didn't really do enough, I don't think, in this. So, yeah, there's a wave to Della. She's over there with Trist having a... Oh, no, what was the name of... Who was that guy she was going out with? What's his name? He didn't even make the list. Well, I also wanted Organon, but that was not who you talked about. Organon. No. I mean, yeah, everybody really likes him, actually. I didn't think he was that... He was annoying. He was having a go... He's over there having an argument because he didn't have his... Was it a sausage or a bit of meat or chicken drumstick or something that he didn't want, remember? He was eating his chicken drumstick at the end, complaining about something. Anyway, we got plenty of chicken drumsticks tonight over there on the buffet table. So let's talk about who did get nominated. Okay. Duggan was great in Paris. Yeah, he's punching the security guards over there as we speak. Well, we thought that would be a useful resource for Duggan, just like we'll leave him over there, something to do, so he doesn't punch the guests. We hired the person specifically for this task. Yeah.
So, they knew exactly what they were getting themselves into. They were open to it.
He did a lot in that story, so he really deserved to be there. And he sort of saved the day as well by punching
He saved
Scarra.
the day with his punching.
So, absolutely. Yeah. And Seth, you love Seth.
I love Seth. I have such a soft spot for Seth. I love Seth.
I mean, in terms of contributing to the story, maybe not that much, but I suppose he was entertaining in that way.
We've not had a character like that. I cannot think of the last time. But we've had like the hero that doesn't want to be. What was the one with the? You didn't like it, but I loved it. The money one.
Oh, the Sunmakers. Yeah.
Yeah. And that guy was like the reluctant hero, but Seth was completely different. Seth was like the reluctant hero in like I really don't want to be, but I am. But also I'll try and match up to it, but I have no idea what I'm doing. And I have so much time for that.
And we also had Chris Parsons from Sharda,
who I was hoping would be a companion.
Yeah, if only. Yeah, again, he got involved so much, went along with everything.
It was great. Got on with everyone, got really involved. That's exactly what you want in a supporting character.
And Professor Chronotis as well. We really liked him.
Yeah, great character. Nice sort of like backstory addition to the Time Lord world. Imagine if
him and Amelia Rumford, Professor Amelia Rumford, got on and had a little cottage together. That would be. I'd love to see that.
You talked about it being? What was it? Professor Chronotis and
Chris and Claire.
Yeah, Chris and Claire. Their little adventures. That's what the spin-off needs to be.
Yes, yeah, and K9 as well.
Chronotis, Chris and Claire. The C's, the 3 C's adventures.
Yes. Okay, who is going to win? Who will win? It's tough competition.
Tough. Let's find out. And the winner of Best Supporting Character is Chris.
Yay! Here he comes on his bike down the middle of the aisle.
He's great. I mean, like, I was not, subtle in my support of Chris. I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah.
Really strong.
Yeah, I could definitely see him in more adventures. I can see him on Alien Planets.
For sure. I'd love to see that. I'd have loved to see that. And just took everything in his stride in the way that you'd want a companion to, but works so well as a supporting character to the story.
And he's a bit like that kind of Douglas Adams character, isn't it? You can see him in Hitchhikers almost as like the Arthur Dent type of person.
Very Arthur Denty.
What should we go next? Let's do Best Story. And the nominees are City of Death.
What a wonderful butler. He's so violent.
Creature from the Pit.
Why do you call it the place of death?
Because anyone found here is automatically condemned to death.
Nightmare of Eden.
He died.
How did he die?
He died.
And Sharda.
Just the water. A punt. A strong pair of hands. And a pole.
Sharda is getting involved in a lot of these nominations.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a good story. We did enjoy it.
So, let's say the ones we didn't include. So we didn't put in Destiny of the Daleks. And actually, looking back, that's probably the weakest of the season.
That and Nimon.
That and Nimon, although you like Nimon more than me.
I did enjoy Nimon, but
you really like Nightmare of Eden as well, the drugs one, quite a lot.
I did. I love Nightmare of Eden. I would say the strong stories this season were really strong. And the weak, which is why the weak ones they weren't bad, but they weren't as good. Like when you have such a strong season, when you've got like Sharda and, I mean, we're in Paris, and all of that. These ones that were like set in big cities, they're really big things to like compete against.
Well, who has won?
Let's find out, shall we? And the winner for Best Story is Sharda.
Yes. See, loads of people love Sharda. Loads of people love City of Death as well. But no, for us, that's our type. We really enjoyed the Douglas Adams stories.
Yeah, we've really enjoyed them. And I would love to see it in the episodic way. I've sort of said that. I'd need a gap before I go back and do it. But it works really well as a feature. I don't know. I'm really glad it got made. I'm really glad it does exist because it is great.
Okay, right. Make sure everybody is topped up with drinks. Charlie the barman is over there, just getting everybody sorted. He's serving the Movellans a nice terrination. They love a bit of a blue liquid.
I noticed that Edith has a new platter. She's called the Dougie, after Douglas Adams.
The Douglas Adams platter. Is that what
it's the Dougie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't know what's on it. It's all like spacey, but
spacey with a sprinkling of Raxoin.
It looks very tasty.
Okay, so we've got best regular. Well, it's from Romana, K9 and the Doctor.
Yeah, they've been our trio.
Should we announce and then talk about them?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And the winner is Romana.
Yes. I mean,
sometimes Ramona.
Sometimes, yes. I'm glad you got her name right. So, okay, let's just get the first bit out. It was never going to be K9 because we're not a fan of this new K9.
The voice was too annoying.
As soon as that voice was blurted out in that episode, we knew that wasn't going to happen.
And the whole character's changed. It just wasn't working.
And then actually the Doctor as well in this season, I said it quite a lot, and then towards the last few stories you said it as well, where he's taken a few liberties, he's been a bit over the top. There's a few moments where we're like, he's still amazing and great, and he's very strong, and he has very strong moments, but it's those weaker moments, those sillier moments.
There's just points where I'm just like,
I think he's misjudged it a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like he's lost the point. It's the point of the character versus the point of him act. Like, what am I trying to say? He's choosing these moments to be silly and have fun over the choice of being the Doctor and being the character, you know? And there's a lot of liberties with that. And just, I noticed it really towards the end of just really unnecessary things. I thought, it's just not needed. And actually, it's to the detriment of, well, it's to his own detriment because, you know, he hasn't won season 17 Doscar, has he? So his performance has come to the detriment of that.
And Romana, you weren't too keen on her to begin with. I mean, she was a bit of a shock at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
I think she's got stronger. Those last two, like Nimon and Sharda, I think she was very good in.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just taken a little bit longer to get her settled in, or to get us get used to her as well, to find that different character.
Yeah. But it's interesting, for a season of such strong stories, it's interesting that our regulars were a bit like
up and down,
all over. When Romana was good, and when I think they've worked out who she was and what she was supposed to look like and all that sort of stuff, she was strong. And like the last 2 or 3, she was very good. And like almost better than a Doctor. We'd said that. Sometimes there was like 1 or 2 where we're like, you don't even need the Doctor.
Well, I think we've talked about a lot of the other characters around them in these stories.
Yeah, we've had really, really strong characters, really strong side characters. That's really helped.
Yeah, and we haven't. I mean, we have talked about our regulars, but not. I feel like we've seen these stories through the guest characters more than through our regulars.
Yeah, for sure. This comes back to my argument that the role of the companion should be the eyes of the viewer, and that, however much I've really enjoyed Romana in the last few stories, it's because the Doctor hasn't been as good that I've been able to enjoy her more, because he's been silly and stuff and she's in that role. And we've even said there was one where we were like, you didn't even need the Doctor. Like, she was just getting on with it. And that's kind of not the point. You need someone there that is, and that's why I really was hoping someone like Chris would join, because you need someone. It works so well when it is, be it a space person, be it someone from the present, be it someone from the past, whoever, but you need that person that is the audience, that is in the adventure with them. And you kind of got away with it in the last season because the whole point of the season was different, because the whole point was like, there was a quest and it was part of the quest, and that was very different and that fit. But now we're back into this rolling, well, this is what we do without the randomizer, but still, that's another point that we'll get to. I just feel that is what is missing.
Are you happy going into another season? Would you be happy with another season of Romana, K9 and the Doctor like this?
I mean, I feel like that's what it is. So I haven't really got a lot of choice. I would like, I think, one of them to go. I don't think that 3 works. So whether that's K9 goes, or I think 3 works. I think 3 is the magic number here. But whether it's a new Doctor, which I don't see happening yet, maybe the end of, I think don't think we've got much longer. I think maybe one more season. I think this could be his last, I don't know. I genuinely have no idea. I feel like we've either got one more or 2 max. So maybe Doctor going or Romana, but considering that she's still there, I don't think that's gonna, I could be wrong. We could start the season that it's a new person like we did this. I could be completely wrong. I just don't think that's going to be the case, only because I know that you said to look out for things about them not even making eye contact. So I know she's around at least for a little, even if it's only half of it, I know she's around for a bit. But in an ideal world, I think one of them would change and the dynamic has a shift, because it's not that it doesn't work, it's just not interesting enough. But equally, I don't feel that there's long for this dynamic.
We'll enjoy them tonight while we can.
Put it this way, if I was the BBC and I got to the end of that season of him mucking about, I'd be starting to get a little bit pissed. And that's why I feel like, and equally, if I was an actor and I'm mucking about like that, I'd be asking myself, why? Like, why? Am I getting bored? What? So I just don't feel he's got long.
No, I totally agree. But I've also just thought, remember when we were talking about it being a bit too dark and Mary Whitehouse was complaining and the drowning and all that stuff? It might be a little bit of a response, if you're talking about like the BBC and stuff, a little bit of a response to that from a few seasons ago where it was getting a lot of criticism. At least if he's mucking about and being silly, they don't get that kind of criticism of it being too violent for kids and all that. You know, it has changed its tone since that time.
I think you can change that with the writing. I mean, and that's what's happened with the Douglas Adams writing. You don't need like...
There was nothing really violent in this whole series. There wasn't, and nothing like... I mean, maybe there was a bit of blood or something, but even like, I don't know, when someone's been shot by a gun, like a ray gun or something... You don't even
see it. You used to see everything.
You just don't... It's very more sort of panto stunt to gun rather than... Yeah, the sort of the deaths in it and everything. I can't think of anything that's like, we've said, oh, that's really gruesome, or oh, that's not very nice to see. I can't think of anything that's been so bad this season.
No, even like the murders, they've all been off screen, really. Yeah. Well, and like, what's the name on the screen? Like, ah!
But oh my God, we have to give a shout out to Maggie, who is here tonight, star of Nightmare of Eden. She is here.
If you ask her, she'll throw the face.
Yeah, she is around everyone in her lovely foil outfit. She'll be signing autographs tonight on the door.
We're just waiting for them to land. Any moment now, they'll be landing.
Yeah, Maggie. She is, Maggie and her holiday crew. Okay, right. Well, we need to just head over to our catwalk, which is just over this side of the Eiffel Tower. Everybody, if you like to look around here, for the Clothes Watch, Best Outfit Award.
Yeah.
So let's
sponsored by Clothes Watch.
Yeah, let's see who's on the catwalk tonight. Okay, here we go. So first up, we've got Romana in her pink and white doctor's outfit from Destiny of the Daleks.
She's working it.
There she is. Astra. You stole my face! No. Astra? I don't even know her. Next up, we have the space suits from Nightmare of Eden. The foil all-in-one with the lovely shades, as modelled by Maggie.
She's blinding.
I think it's roast chicken for dinner. Oh, she certainly foiled me. Nightmare of chicken dinner. Thanks, Maggie. And then next, we have the Nimon Guard outfit with the big shoulders and the big feathers.
He's got pads for days. He's padding it.
How many guards have you seen today? I've seen 3.
You can take an eye out with that.
Sold deed. Sold he didn't. Oh. And last up, we've got Skagra in his hat, cape, holding his carpet bag from Sharda.
Working it.
Bag it up and lock him away. He's off to punt. Oh dear, these are getting terrible. Oh, they are our nominees.
Okay.
Right.
Mark, you can read who won.
Okay. And the winner is the Eden spacesuits.
Yay! Michael's back down the runway.
Here she is. She's running up. Look at that smile as I give her the award. I mean, we talked about those a lot. To go into space, you need your full foil onesie, and you have to have the shades. Most importantly, you cannot.
Oh yeah, protects you from everything.
They do. Well, apart from a mandrill attack, they protect you from absolutely everything that you need in space. They just stood out. They were obviously quite cheap, but they were so much fun, and they just stood out. They're memorable. That's how we award things, if they're memorable.
That is usually how we award things. Yes.
Hopefully they're good, but also it doesn't matter. They should be memorable, like Maggie.
Maggie definitely helped in that sense.
Yeah.
Maggie, pull your pose. Ah! Oh, she goes. That was Maggie's acceptance speech on behalf of the outfits.
Okay, so the icon, we just announced that. We've had very obviously quite an in-depth debate about who the icon could be, and we have decided a winner. And this is of somebody that has influenced the whole season for good or for worse. That person or thing or something that just sums up the whole season for us that we're going to remember.
And the winner of 20... Stop that again. It's going 2017. I'm like, no, season 17. And the winner of season 17 Doscars icon is Douglas Adams.
Yes! Slightly different than usual. It's not character or the control room like we've had before. But we have talked a lot about Douglas Adams. He was the script editor for this season. He also wrote Sharda, our favourite story as well. But even though he just wrote that one, you can just still see his influence, I think, a lot throughout. With the tone, some of the characters, you can really see that. And that's why we thought he would be great for the icon of the season. And yeah, it's great that Doctor Who had Douglas Adams, actually.
Yeah, great. And like, I mean, what a great learning place for him as well in terms of what he went on to do after. But that influences throughout this season. Hopefully, I'm sure people will agree, a worthy icon of the season.
Okay, next we've got Best Cliffhanger. City of Death Part 1, when Skagra reveals for the first time his alien face. City of Death Part 3, I think, when the Doctor goes back in time to see Da Vinci and Scaroth is there in history. It's another great moment. We've also got Destiny of the Daleks, the cliffhanger where Davros wakes up. Very dramatic. And we also have Horns of Nimon. I think it's episode 3 where Romana has disappeared and Soldeed comes in and blasts the equipment so Romana can't get back, and then he heads towards the Doctor's face, very close and very close up. So I hope I've described them properly. Like, there were a few memorable things in this season, but not anything I mean, not like back classic days when you had a really great freeze frame, which I wish had come back.
Yeah, and also there's none from Skagra because I watched it. Well, and James did as well, didn't we? We watched the cinema, which we had no cliffhangers.
We all watched the film version of it, yeah.
You did as well. You were going to do episode. Yeah. We all watched the full version, so there were no cliffhangers. So for that reason, that was void from this category.
I don't think there were any that memorable ones in. From what I remember from Sharda, there wasn't that anything great. I think it was mostly like the first few with that ball coming towards it, and I think there was Skagra being like, I'm going to take over the universe. There wasn't anything amazing, I don't think, from Sharda anyway, that we would have chosen. You like that Nimon one. I had a problem with the Nimon ones because I didn't think they were very well directed.
I just remember that one was the one that convinced me to keep watching.
Well, they've done their job. So,
and that's sometimes, half a battle. Because I remember it was a really close shot as well, and it just felt like there was nowhere to go. And I was like, ooh, how are they going to get out of this one? It felt really like tight, and I was like, ooh, this will be interesting. And it felt memorable for that reason.
And you liked when Davros was waking up. You thought that was quite dramatic. I like the City of Death ones because you're not expecting him to rip off his face like that.
No, they're great ones. They're really good. And
then that extra twist, the sort of timey twist of actually, it's him again back in time.
Yeah, the time one's fantastic.
Yeah. I think they were the most memorable ones. So let's announce the winner of this cliffhanger.
I genuinely can't remember this one.
And the winner of Best Cliffhanger is City of Death. Going back in time to Da Vinci's time and seeing Skagroth. And seeing...
Mark, you need to say that whole thing because it's true for City of Death. So you just announcing City of Death.
Okay. City of Death, Part 3. When the Doctor goes back in time and finds Skagra in Da Vinci's times. We all know what I mean. It's fine. We'll work. I haven't actually quite mastered the announcing of the Cliffhanger Awards just yet. It's a new category. We've got to get used to it. And it does mean I should look up the numbers one day. But we all know that one. We know that one. We know City of Death, everyone.
It's a great one. It is a really strong one.
Okay. Worst moment then.
Not too many to choose from for this season, but enough that we have nominees.
Would you like... have you got them?
Oh, you're going to have to read them, love.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Yeah. I have a winner here, but I ain't got them.
Oh, okay. And the nominees for worst moment are... K9's new voice this season.
The mist is a matter interface and is therefore dangerous, Master. Affirmative, Master.
No randomizer being used in this season. There being a door to the pit in Creature of the Pit. Everybody getting in and out very easily, considering it's a pit. And the moment at the end of Nightmare of Eden where the Doctor goes in to Eden and does that really silly, shouty moment when he gets all the mandrels.
Oh, my fingers, my arms, my legs, my everything. Oh!
The randomizer was really fucking annoying. Let's just say it now. Like,
there's a few. Isn't there a reference to it or not? I can't remember.
There could have been. It definitely is ridiculous that they set up a whole thing for it and then it's like just never thought of again. Really. Like,
I think maybe in that very first episode they're like, "Where's a randomizer that takes them to the Daleks?" Maybe. But then after that, we don't. They're just already in Paris.
Yeah.
There's a distress call in Nightmare of Eden, so they follow that. Sharda they go because Chronotis asked them to go. Oh, Nimon they crash into the ship and stuff because he's fiddling with the controls. So yeah, they don't actually use it. And that, I don't know. It could have been
really ridiculous and annoying to have set something up and then it'd be almost like, here's your new companion for the season, and then you start the season, and then you just don't have them in it.
They could have made something of the story.
Like, they're with us on the TARDIS, and then it ends, and then you start the season, and they're just not there. And then they're never like ridiculous. So that really annoyed me. As did, as we've talked about a lot, K9's voice this season. K9's voice was so different, and the character was, and it was just considering last season, that K9 was our best supporting character. Like, really strong. We were big K9 fans of that, and just such a change. The door to the pit has been talked about in depth with ourselves. People on Twitter also talked in depth about it, I noticed. It's not just us that has had this discussion. It's such a simple thing, and yet so easily spotted. And I think that's one of those things where you can tell that budgets and time have played in here, because they've probably just thought, do you know what? Like, surely someone along the lines thought, hang on, but how do we get in here? And they've gone, it's all right, we haven't got time to figure it out. And that was that. And it's a shame because it ruins. I mean, when I think back to like season 1, right? And we had all those cave things.
A lot of caves.
People literally climbing into things and stuff. Like, none of that. There's just literally, they're just in a pit and can get out of it very, very easily.
Yeah, I know Barbara was jumping over real caves pretty much and falling down. People fell down
like
and
that to this.
Yeah, like Thals, they fell down and like died. You know that guy with the rope, and he fell down and like, yeah.
And then the last one was the end of Eden with the Doctor that we mentioned. So just annoying. And I think that just summed up, for me at least, and I'm sure you feel the same, like why we felt a little bit of frustration with the Doctor this season.
Okay. Oh, who's won?
Who has won worst moment? Shall I say? And the winner of worst moment is K9's voice.
Yay! Not good. He's not here tonight to collect his award. He doesn't deserve it. We want his other voice back. I mean, I suppose they said he had laryngitis in the first episode, so at least they've tried to explain.
Doesn't the character change, though, does it?
No, but that's what it was. The writing of K9 just completely went different.
Just everything changed about K9.
Yeah. It's a shame. He's been around for a while. What is his 4th season? He's been around a long time, actually. And you were so excited when he first arrived.
I know.
and now he's just like, oh, it's K9. So hopefully he might have a resurgence or something might happen with him, but
we'll find out.
Okay, and now we need to go over to the Sir Ian Chesterton Heroic Moment Award. Everyone's
favourite award of the night. As listeners should know by now, the Sir Ian Chesterton Award is voted for by our coffee members. So thank you for your nominations on this. So we decide the shortlist and then we put it to the coffee members to decide who wins the most heroic moment of the season.
And the nominees are Duggan for knocking out Scaroth in City of Death.
I will change it!
Seth for stepping up and being the hero Tika wants him to be in Horns of Nimon. Chris not letting anything faze him and embracing the adventure in Sharda.
It's a robot.
Of course.
A robot dog.
Yes.
Neat.
And Claire helping Chronotis, fixing the TARDIS and embracing the adventure in Sharda.
This? It's a conceptual geometer relay with an agronomic trigger, a totally defunct field separator, but it doesn't matter, we can dispense with it if we can get that interfacial resonator working again.
There we go. More Sharda love there.
Also, I think 4 really great nominees. Previous winners have been Charlie the barman.
Who's here tonight?
Barbara. Who else has won in the past?
Oh, we need to go through our wiki again. Did Susan win? No. Sarah Kingdom, I think, might have won.
Yeah, I'm going to look now. Hang on, I'll tell you now. So actually, Susan did win season 1. In more recent times, we've had D84.
Oh, Amelia Ducar going undercover.
Yeah, we've had Miss Hawthorne. So, I mean...
Brilliant people. Who is going to win? The votes are in. We have a winner. And the winner of the Sir Ian Chesterton Heroic Moment Award, Season 17, goes to Duggan from City of Death. Hey!
Duggan!
There we go. Yeah, Duggan is a fan favourite. Yeah, listener Lucas says the most important punch in history has to go to Duggan.
It was a great moment. The whole way through, he seemed pretty useless, and then he literally saved the day.
Yeah, and Andy as well says Duggan totally wins this for the most important punch in human history as well. Yeah, so, I mean, it's fairly unanimous there. Seth was great as well. I know you love Seth. And he would have been great there up next to Charlie the Barman on our awards. But Miss Hawthorne,
unworthy unknown hero, but yeah.
But no, I think Duggan absolutely deserves it. Well done, everyone. Thank you, everybody who voted. Here we go. Another season done.
I can't believe it. I say this every season, but I can't believe that we're already talking about the next one, and it's 18 now.
Into the 1980s as well, so we're going to go, 80s is going to be very different, I think. But before we start on the 1980s, we have the 1970s All-Stars Awards
to
look forward to.
Oh,
so don't worry.
All 10 years is going to be...
It is fine. So our coffee members are going to choose our winners for us, so it's going to be fine. The voting has already begun. There's some Twitter polls
I've seen
out
on Twitter.
there. Round 1 has started, so we've got a few more of those, and then our coffee members will get a survey, or you should probably had the survey by the time you hear this as well. So don't worry, you don't have to remember too much. And I'm sure once we start talking about them, you will remember such classics as Greg and Petra from Inferno.
Yes, the nose.
And no, that's not them.
Oh my gosh, say Roddy.
No, Petra, when there was that parallel universe with the volcano, they were drilling to the centre of the earth, and he was like, and it all went, and everyone turned into like primordial creatures, and the brigade leader had the eye patch.
The brigade leader and his eye patch. I remember that.
Yeah, there we go. We're going way back to the beginning of the Third Doctor, so that's a lot to talk about. So that'll be fun. And then we will head to the 1980s. We will see you all then. Thank you everybody who made it to Paris.
Thank you everyone that supports us and helps with voting and stuff. And
yeah,
it's very much appreciated.
Yes. Yeah, we better head off. There'll be a few. Charlie's going to be making Terry Nations for a bit longer, so you've got plenty of time to have a drink with the Mavellans and all of our winners tonight. And plenty of chicken drumsticks over there for Organon and Arato. Make sure you give him a hug as you go out. And yeah, we will see you all very soon. And you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at ToWatchWho if you want to get in touch in the meantime. Bye.
Bye.
To Watch Who.